What'd you hit?
What do you mean, what I hit? Oh.
Hi everybody, I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb. Welcome to the ARTyRV channel again. Sorry, I popped in early. Didn't even know we were on.
Yeah, we had to pop in and then we were like, oop, we better pop back out. So anyway, welcome guys.
Welcome. We have a great show tonight, and welcome to everyone. We have questions already in the chat, and so if you have a question, just put it in the chat with a Q. We'll be happy to answer it.
Got a lot of people in the house tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Ray's in the house tonight. Hey Ray, I'll be giving you a chit chat tomorrow sometime.
Yes, and let's see. I see a lot of bad weather out there. You guys hang in there, be safe. It's storming all over the state today.
Yeah, we've got thunderstorms outside too. So,
And we've
but
heard
I saw
storming.
what was it? The
North
tornado
Carolina,
warnings in Minnesota.
yeah.
Holy cow!
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's kind of unheard of almost.
So welcome everyone. I see people that haven't been here in a little while, and I see people that are here all the time, and newcomers. So welcome everyone.
I know, and
we appreciate you
I want to
hanging out
let
with
Beth
us
know
tonight.
that was a nice smallmouth bass you caught.
Yeah, Beth, we saw that on Facebook.
Saw that on Facebook.
Jumped out of his chair.
I was like, whoa, yeah, that was a nice fish. Good catch.
Yeah, so we hope that everyone had a happy Father's Day. We know we did here at our house, and we also had a happy anniversary. Ed and I have been married 39 years on Saturday, so that was fun.
This past Saturday. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it was a big weekend for me. I had an anniversary and a Father's Day. That's awesome.
Yeah, he had a pretty great weekend.
I was busy.
Yeah. So happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there.
That's right.
That we missed. Okay, so I guess we can start with the questions.
Yeah, let's
Is that
go.
what
Let's
you
start
wanna
with
do?
a question. Sure, let's start out with a question. I think
Okay.
we got a couple of them that are there already.
They are. Okay, Mary Beth posted she's teaching a 19-year-old how to solder. He's got a natural talent
Oh, good, Mary Beth. Good.
to
And I got yours and Frank's shirts in today, so we'll try and get them out tomorrow. And if not, they'll get out on Wednesday.
yeah,
for you.
everything's being mailed out tomorrow. We got everything packed up, so everything's being shipped tomorrow. If you have an order in, it'll be shipped tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Question.
Okay.
Carol, is that the first question? Carol's
I
question?
think it was. I think that's the one you tagged.
Having trouble soldering copper came to edges of my copper foil panel. Need to get it super hot. Am afraid I'll crack the glass. Any advice? Oh, yeah.
Carol, that's the thing about using even zinc. You have to get hotter than normal, but with the copper, is it copper she's using or?
That's what she said.
Yeah, copper channel.
Copper cane.
Using copper cane. Yeah, so you have to get it hot. You have to flux it. This is what I've found over the years that has to be done. Because I used to use brass jacketed lead or brass jacketed cane so that it's kind of flexible but still looks, with the brass. But anyway, Carol, what has to be done, and you're right, you have to be really careful. Heat only, okay? Heat only the brass. Don't try to heat on the edge there where heat only the brass. And what I've done in the past and what I've had to do in the past is to flux it, heat it, flux it again, and then get your solder on it. And turn your iron up just a little bit. But what you're going to have, there's a fine line between your iron being too hot and being safety or making a good looking finished joint up against from one point to another, jumping to the copper channel. So you are going to have to get it hot, hon. There's nothing, anything different about it, but it has to be hot. Same way with the brass cane, it has to be hot.
So you'll have to work slow.
Yeah.
You'll have to, because that heat, the bad thing is the heat doesn't just stay in that one.
It dissipates all the way up the whole piece.
It goes all the way. So even if you're just, soldering right in that spot, that heat's going to transfer down. So you really have to be careful when you're moving down because it's just going to get hotter and hotter. So you're going to have to move away from it, let it cool a little bit.
Yeah.
And
remember, fortunately you're just working on the very edge, but gosh, do be careful. Is this, Carol? Is this that the window that's you've been working on for a while with a couple hundred pieces in it? Is this the outside, the finishing?
That's the one she's doing.
Yeah. Well, just be careful because there's no other way. It has to be hot in order for it to solder. A lot of times when there are people, welders and things like that are working with brass and bronze, is they actually use a torch and what they call braze it. They call it brazing, using bronze to bronze and copper to copper. So you have to be really careful. Do be careful, Carol. That window's beautiful you're working on.
Okay. Mary Beth and Frank want to know, we have a fancy bevel set for a lead window. Should we wrap the bevels in the lead before drawing the rest of the pattern to make it more accurate, or will it be okay to lay them out and trace them?
I would lay them out and trace them, and remember, you're gonna when you're tracing those bevels out, you should be able to. There's some bevels that are going to go, you're going to wrap the lead all the way around and encompass them into the window and slide them in. But there's other bevels that you're going to be, just using partial lead. But what I would do is I would trace the bevels onto your pattern first. Yeah, don't lead them and then try and put it together, because you're going to have enough trouble with the bevels, because they just be real careful with them, and remember they're soft. So if you do have to grind them, I like personally, when I use bevels, I like to leave the width of a pencil lead in between each individual piece of glass, because then by the time I blacken everything in and put everything together, it all works out the way it's supposed to. Bevels are real funny. Just be careful with them, guys. But I would put them on the pattern first. Don't let them, and definitely don't solder anything before you get it all put together, for sure.
Welcome to Chris Miles.
Hey, welcome.
New member.
Thank you for joining the ARTyRV family.
Yes,
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the ARTyRV. Oh my gosh, thank you, Chris. We really appreciate it, and that will go to good use, I'll tell you.
Well, I'll tell you, that'll take care of the insulation for the garage door.
That's what we are working on. So
that's the next project. Thank you so much, Chris.
That means a lot to us.
And I know we've changed the camera around a little bit, but I can promise you, we've got the light blinking for you,
I'll do this.
and Barbara's going to get the other one going for you. Chris, thank you so much for that generous donation.
Yes,
Appreciate
that was very generous. We thank you. Tons. Okay, let's get back to our questions. Okay, did I miss anybody? Let me know if I missed anyone, because I got, okay. All right. So you want to talk about what you've been doing in the studio?
I've been working like a dog, but I finally got an appointment for another process that I've been waiting to get done for a month and a half. So
we've kind of been vague to you guys, and we want to just let you all know what's going on. You guys knew Ed was supposed to get a hip replacement. Well,
had to get the cardiologist approval first.
So he had to get the cardiologist to approve it first, and Ed was having problems, and they said, no, you got to get your problem solved before you go to hip replacement. So we're going to Charleston on Thursday.
Yeah, we're going to the medical university down in Charleston.
He's having a CCAT scan. No, is that what it is?
Yeah, CTA scan. It's
and that'll tell him
invasive.
everything that's going on with him. It's a little bit less invasive than what I had done. So, he won't have any downtime at all. Hopefully they'll find out what exactly is wrong and we can carry on. But we just wanted to let you all know that's what's happening. He's fine.
Class is still on for the weekend, so don't worry about that.
But he's just having a few problems, and
we've got to get it taken care of. Yeah. So, so it's all good.
Yeah.
It really is. I feel fine. And Barbara feels great.
I feel great.
OP.
I had my echocardiogram. My heart's back up to 55 to 60%, which is perfect.
The best that anybody gets.
Perfect for
that's
me.
What you get.
And it was only 35%, so I'm ecstatic.
Yeah. So 3 months ago, she was at 33%.
Yeah.
Of pumping fraction for her heart.
And so now I go to cardio 3 times a week. I'm working out 45 minutes a day. So I feel fantastic.
Crazy.
So if you have a chance to go exercise a couple times a week, get out and walk, do what you can, keep your heart healthy.
Definitely do that. And I have a feeling I'll probably end up in there after all this is done this week,
I'm going to take him to cardio with us.
So we're going to go, and we're going to do it together, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So, hey, you guys remember, all this month so far, we have been talking about Yakagani and their restoration glass that they make, and their reproduction glass, the Tiffany reproduction glass that they make. So I've this week again, I got 5 pieces of glass to share with y'all.
Okay.
And we're not going to start yet, but I just don't go anywhere, because these glasses that I'm going to share with you from this Yakagani set is just really, and we're only doing it 5 at a time, because if I did 10, it would blow your mind. So 5 at a time each week until we're done with this sample set. So,
okay.
But let's get back to some more questions, Barb.
Yeah, we have a few more questions. Kelly wants to know, a person used a rheostat with a Weller 100 I guess she's asking if you should use a rheostat with a Weller 100 soldering iron.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, you should. Unless your soldering iron, guys and gals, has a rheostat in it, such as the Heiko 601, that has a rheostat in it. Unless your iron has a rheostat in the iron or at your soldering station, you need to be using a rheostat, because just the basic soldering iron running wide open all the time is too hot to work. And honestly, it's too hot to work. Certain things require a very cool soldering iron, other things require a hot soldering iron, but not as extremely ridiculously hot soldering iron. So you'll find, if you'll get a rheostat, spend the $39 on a good rheostat. There's one on our Amazon page, and it's the Leponet. I believe it's the Leponet.
It is.
Rheostat, and that's the one that Ed uses and Barb uses. And actually our students use it too. I have 6 of those that go on the table when we start soldering in our classes. So please, guys, if you haven't started using a rheostat with your soldering iron and you're just getting started in this, woo, it will build your confidence like nobody's business. Get a rheostat and try it out.
Okay, Rochelle has a question. Thank you, Ed. Okay. Rochelle has a question. She's been having trouble with her 5-year-old Heiko 601. He keeps shutting down and heating up. Any ideas? Yeah,
it sounds, if you, and Rochelle, welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're okay and everything is good. So, so what happens, Rochelle, with the Heiko iron is it has a ceramic heating element inside of it. So when you unscrew that top and pull that off, I think what you're going to find is the very end of the ceramic tip needs to be steel wool, because what you're having a resistance between the end of the ceramic tip and the copper tip, and you're not getting that connection. The other thing, it being 5 years old, I don't know that they have a ceramic piece that replaces the thermocouple in that. But that's probably what the deal is. I would try these. I would try the steel wool on the tip of the thermocouple first, and then clean the back side of the tip that screws against those two pieces, and make sure there's no corrosion there, because any little bit of corrosion will separate that. And as things get hot, remember, they expand. So that corrosion when your iron gets hot, doesn't get closer, it comes further apart, and that could be causing your temperature problem. Give it a shot, Rochelle. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Yeah. Good to hear from you, Rochelle. Okay, let's see if we have any more questions. So let's just go to, I don't see any more questions right now.
Okay, everybody's ready for this beautiful glass.
Everyone's ready to see your beautiful glass. Let me do a close-up.
Okay. Is it working?
Yes, sir.
It's working. Yay.
Just need to move over just a little
bit.
bit.
I need to come over this way a little bit. I need to come over, and let me see what we got here. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to bring them over one at a time, because if you give you too much, look at this. This is beautiful here. This is called a Wisteria A. And the Wisteria A, let me read off these colors that it has in it. So in these sample sets that I have, they have a Wisteria A, B, and C. So this is a white opal. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a neodymium blue with green. Now you can see the blue when I flip this. Oh, there it is right there. You can see the blue in this, okay? And remember what we talked about. What creates these models in this beautiful, beautiful glass, what creates these models is that the fact that they put the sheet of glass after it's been rolled into, they call it a striking oven. They allow the glass to strike, and then they anneal it. So this is a Wisteria A. And if you were going to order this part number, that's all you got to tell them. I need a Wisteria A, because it's absolutely gorgeous, and I want some of that. So here we go. We're going to grab another one right here, okay? This is part number 5669, reproduction glass. This is a beautiful, the colors in this, okay, you ready for this, guys? The colors in this are silver yellow, copper red, and copper blue. Now, I can get you some of that. Look at that. Oh, isn't that gorgeous, Sean? Look at that. Look at the light coming through that. Tell me that wouldn't look beautiful in a lamp or in your front door, for that matter. Look at that. Look at the blues in that. This is beautiful. Again, y'all, that's Yakagani part number 5669, reproduction glass, RG for reproduction glass, okay? This one, look at this. Wisteria B. It says it all itself. Let's look at this. Wisteria B. This is a blue with green and dark blue.
That's the prettiest wisteria color I've seen.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Look at that.
That is
oh my God.
very nice.
This is beautiful. So, and guys, these glasses are really quite simple to cut. You just take your time with them and work with them. So here we go. Let's get another one. This is my favorite here. This is the Wisteria C. Now look at this. Look at that. Hang on. Let's get that. There we go. This is a Wisteria C, and it's called, the colors in it are light blue, dark blue, green, and gold purple. What? Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. It's beautiful. Beautiful. And it already comes with leaves in it. Isn't that crazy? This is a beautiful glass. Again, y'all, this is Wisteria C by Yakagani. And I feel like we're doing like a, it's a baby girl. She's back. I feel like we're doing a little show here. So here we go. This is a landscape glass here. This is a reproduction, Tiffany reproduction glass. It's a landscape glass. So this landscape glass has amber tones and greens. And they make one type of glass that's landscape glass, and this is it. And you can look at this. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Look at that. So those of you that are working with lamps, or you're looking for ideas for a tree, or you're looking for ideas for a field behind a fence going down a hill, guys, check out Yakagani's glass. Check out their website, and you can probably find something that you can use. So I wanted to share that with y'all. And remember, Yakagani, they make lots of glass, and check it out.
Carol said the 5669 has so crazy much variation that you can never predict what you're going to get. And I would say that's the way it is with a lot of them.
Yeah, I would too. The way that these glasses are mixed, and the way that a lot of these glasses too, y'all, are hand rolled, and not just machine rolled, but they're hand rolled, and then they have to be put into an oven to strike, and it takes a very specific type of glass to strike. But that striking process is what causes the models into the sheet glass. And like I said, Yakagani's really, I mean, they're annealing process. What I've been using, the Yakagani glass that I've been using in the Merle's Inlet project, I have not had one problem with any of it. But boy, I tell you what, it sure makes my windows look good.
Robin Brodeur asked which is the correct side of those samples. There's not a correct side, there's not a good side or a bad side, but the side with the tag on it is the shiny side.
It's the side that you cut from.
Yeah. However,
a lot of people will take their patterns and just turn them upside down on with this glass. But again, you know, by using a light box, you can make this glass do anything that you want to your pattern.
Yeah.
And it's not about, oh, I need to save this. I don't want to cut that much because I need that little bit of glass right there. That's all I'm going to use, but this is really pretty here. Then go over there and use that really pretty piece. That's what I do. I use that really, if that's what you want and you're working with a sheet of glass and you're designing, what you're doing is you're painting with glass. And Yakagani, Oceana, Wismac, Kokomo, Bullseye, you know what? Those are what's in your palette. And you can paint anything with glass by using all of these manufacturers. So have fun with it. I mean, that was the whole intriguing part about me learning how to work on the light box is I can, especially having a big light box, is I can lay a sheet of glass on there that might be 32 by 42. That's almost 10 square feet, y'all. That's 9.33 square feet. I can lay that whole sheet of glass on that light box and look at my pattern that I've got underneath of it and say, oh my gosh, that's the part we're going to use right there for that. Because now, not only do I see it on the table, I know what my customer is going to see when it gets in the light. And that, I'm working on all this together because I have to present to them a finished product that knocks their socks off.
Yeah.
Well, keep their socks on their feet.
And talking about the good side and the bad side of the
Yep.
front or the back, a lot of times when we used to go, we'd have our project in mind and then we go pick out our glass. We look at both sides of the glass.
Sure.
Because one side might be the wrong side, but might be perfect for the window. And I heard someone say something about turtles, especially
Yeah.
if you're doing turtles.
Oh, yeah. Well, that
Turn
was
that
it.
glass
Yeah.
over.
Look at that.
And you got
Turtles
texture
and
and
frogs you know,
everything. So
and it matches my shirt.
it does match your shirt.
And this is, this glass, I have this 5669, Carol. You know what I'm just thinking? I have a sheet of this sitting in the window in my studio. I just remember that. I have a sheet of this in my window in my studio, don't I? Mm-hmm. Sure enough.
Okay,
Go figure.
I don't know. I have another question. What are the dimensions for the bottom compartment of the memory box? It doesn't say in the video. I'm guessing 1 inch tall. I believe.
1 inch tall, and whatever it is it 4 by 4 on the box?
I think so.
I think that, but it's 1 inch tall where the other piece of glass, where you put the top in between the two pieces of glass. It's 1 inch, yeah. But you know what? It can be. It can be as much room as you need for your memories. How about that?
Okay, Julie wants to know what's the difference between striking glass and stained glass.
Well, Julie, when we're blowing glass, the striking it's a cooling process and then it's an annealing process. So and in the annealing process, it sounds kind of redundant, I guess, because they're both cooling processes, but one reacts with the glass at a very specific temperature, and then the other just cools the glass down so that it's able to cut. So in the blown glass, like we have reds, purples, and copper blues that strike, and what they do, because they're typically on the outside of a blown glass piece, Julie, is they iridize the metals that are in that glass, and it's the same process that the striking is striking. So the metals in the glass come to the surface of the glass, and that's what produces the striking.
Okay, thank you, Ed.
Yeah. So like, guys, if you think about manganese makes purple glass. Go figure, right?
I just wanted to remind everybody tonight that we do have a couple more classes available.
Here too, yeah.
What? Oh,
I have a copy over here.
you have a copy of the class schedules that's available? I believe it's August, September. No, July 19th and September 13th. 2 slots.
I did have
each.
it.
Yeah, you had it.
So we still have some slots available in our weekend beginner class, stained glass class, and those 2 slots are available for July 19th and 20th. And then we have 2 slots available in our September 13th class, and that is September 13th and 14th, Saturday and Sunday. So go to the website at conwayglass.com, click on the classes page, and register. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ed. That was great. So, do you want to do some? Thank you, Ed. Pat you on the back.
I don't need a pat, but anyway, it's all good. So let's do a little bit
glass
I
cutting?
brought I brought a small yet elegant piece of bullseye home to cut, but then I brought some other colors too.
Okay.
So first I'm going to share, and I'll bring this part number to you next week if you absolutely have to have it. This is a bullseye. Okay, so we're gonna look at the back side of this. This is a mottled glass.
Thank you, Loco.
This glass is so pretty, y'all. So this is the smooth side, but you see all these little dips and hoop-de-doos. Well, you know what? That's just the way it's rolled. That's the way it's made. That's the way it happens. So, but I'm going to take, and I want you to hear this, and first of all, we're going to cut just a small little straight strip. And because I'm cutting a straight strip without a straight edge, I'm going to push my cutter. Now, if I push it fast, it's going to jump over top. It's going to jump over top of these hoop-de-doos and probably not break. So I am gonna score slowly, and you'll hear the difference. Okay, so now if you ran over top of that piece of glass really fast, it will not break at all. So every time we went up and down, and a lot of times when you go up, you'll find that your cutter wants to go sideways, but mine didn't do that time. And actually, this gave us a pretty clean break, and the edges look pretty good. But if I hold this up, you can see, look how coarse that is. And then we got little hoop-de-doos right here, little hoop-de-doos here, hoop-de-doos. And you can see, guys, you can see the green glass and the yellow glass, or the green glass and the white glass, are stacked up into each other. And this is just really a beautiful piece of bullseye that will allow you to do a lot of different things. To me, I'm using this for grass. Actually, I'm using it for marsh grasses. So when if any of y'all have ever looked out through the marsh, and you see how things are different heights and different widths and different shades of greens and everything, and this is what I'm doing with this. So let's see what happens when we try to take a curve out of it. And if we just take our time, see that? We're going in, but I'm coming right back out. So I think I'm too close here. I am, to get this to work. So what I have to do is come back here, and we're going to try and pop this so we can get it started. And then we're just going to run our run. If we can just get this little ready. Everybody hold your breath. Thank you.
Whoa.
I appreciate that. So our run, we all saw that run took off. And I found out, what I found out of the whole key about doing that run is, as soon as you hear that pop, you got to let it go. Don't drop the pliers, don't turn them loose, but you've got to stop. And then you can come in, and isn't that beautiful? We can see that run, it's right there. So I'm going to come in, and I'm going to drop right directly behind my run. I'm going to take my index finger knuckle, I'm going to put it underneath with my thumb on top, and I'm going to pull down with this hand, pull down and away. And there we go. And we were able to save that little tiny piece of glass. Isn't that crazy? So anyway, I think there's two things that you should take from this piece of glass here. Number one, that bullseye glass is very easy to work with, just like the rest of the glasses that are made in this country. And so don't be intimidated by it. And the other thing is that bullseye glass gives you this beautiful edge right here. Okay, this is a factory edge. It's not sharp. Some of them are. Some of them will dig you or whatever. But let me tell you, if you enjoy building boxes and stuff, this is the edge, the finished edge of your jewelry box right there. Sometimes it's just so beautiful. You should try it. Barb, let's take in a couple more questions because I got some other pretty glass to cut.
Okay. All right. Let's see where.
Oh,
our
low
question-
cost, thank
Oh,
you.
low cost. Let me fix our lights real quick here.
Okay.
Okay.
She's got it going on. There they go. Oh,
Is
my.
that good? Is that good?
Okay, I'm going to turn.
Thank you, Loka.
Thank you,
We
Loka.
appreciate it.
We do.
And Chris as well. Thank you so much for the donations. We really do.
So we're
appreciate
moving right along with the project. We do have a finish date of September. We want to be completed by September.
Mm-hmm.
And so the air conditioning is in, the floors are getting cleaned up, and Chris will be getting the insulation for the garage door with your
Yeah.
donation. And thank you so
We
much
got a
for that.
dumpster, so
Yeah.
we're moving right ahead.
Yeah, that's right. We get the dumpster came at the shop last week, so now we're going to
We've been
be.
making trips to the Goodwill.
Yes. Oh, we made a trip, guys. We made a trip to the Goodwill today, and the gentleman that helps you, put everything in the little bins so that they can sort them through. We took a chocolate fountain to the Goodwill today, and that guy's he had a smile this wide. When I handed him that chocolate fountain, he looked at that thing and he just smiled. He was like, "Oh
What
my!"
was he gonna do?
I don't know what he was going to do with it.
I
but
know that probably a church will get it because they like to do things and
yeah, and the worst part
functions.
of the chocolate fondue chocolate fountain is really great. It's just cleaning up the process when you're done.
when you're done cleaning it. It's
Cleaning
the
it.
main thing. You have to make sure it's spotless after you use
Oh
it.
yeah, because it'll ruin you if you don't. So,
Okay.
and those chocolate things cost $400 or $500. Some of them.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Question from Cindy. Will you be doing any advanced classes this fall?
This fall.
We'll be doing glass blowing classes this
Yeah,
fall.
this fall is this.
So I don't know that we'll be teaching stained glass at all in the fall. They'll probably start back in
February. right?
in January or February. If you have a specific class that you would like us to teach, send us a note.
Please
I
do.
do have a list of classes that we're thinking about teaching, but if you have a specific class, like an advanced class, I'm not sure what you consider advanced.
Yeah. That's all.
We do have an advanced cutting and soldering class that Ed teaches in one weekend. So,
And that's a very informative class, y'all, because we
You
spend
learn a
all day
lot.
on Saturday learning how to cut glass. I'd even show you my little trick of using your running pliers upside down and all kinds of stuff.
he shows you
But you
everything.
learn how to cut glass and you eliminate the fear factor and the frustration. And then when we start soldering, once you learn how to solder correctly, there's another, fear factor that disappears.
Mimi's here.
Hey, Mimi.
Here's a question from Dragon Maker. Do the different percentages of solder accept patina differently? Is a certain percentage better than another? Yes.
Well, yes. Excuse me. So for instance, Novacan patinas, and that's everybody uses Novacan patinas. Their patinas are designed to tint the tin. Patina or chemical. The chemical is designed for tin. So the 60-40 solder gets darker than the 50-50. So, and you can only put the patina on one time. It doesn't matter if you put it on 20 times. It's only going to be one shade of black. And so don't waste the whole bottle trying to get it darker. My suggestion is that the 60-40 solder, the black patina works the very best on it. Okay, and so if you need to tin, or if you need to patina, zinc, then they make a zinc patina. They make a patina for zinc, specifically for zinc. But yeah, so the different solders, 60-40 and 50-50, they make a difference to the patina. The answer to your question is yes. They do make a difference.
Yes, and the answer is 60/40 is what you want to use for patina.
If you're using patina, yes.
Question from Carol. Are your classes focused on copper foil or lead?
On either one. See, that's the thing. We can. The beginner glass class is focused on copper foil, because you've got to start somewhere. But in the beginner class, I spend a lot of time on learning how to cut the glass too. So, and because we have like 12 hours for the weekend, so that we have a lot of time. So, an advanced, and then the lead light class is just where we just learn the difference between the two materials. We learn how to work on the light box as opposed to working with pattern shears and cutting your pattern out and tracing it over to the glass. We actually learn how to work on the light box and cut your glass on the light box, and how to make your pattern so that everything comes out the way it's supposed to. Now, if we did it, we could do an advanced copper foil class, but you have limited time. That's the problem with it. There really is no, other than glass cutting, there is no advanced copper foil, and other than glass cutting and technique, there are no advanced lead or copper foil classes. So advanced lead to me would be learning how to do overlays. Would be that would be advanced copper foil classes. Would be overlays, building boxes, and things like that. And then the lead class, an advanced lead class, would be learning how to apply bevels, doing overlays, and using different profiles of cane to enhance the design of the window. And then, of course, what would come into an advanced lead cane class would be probably a couple hours of designing, of how to design and why and wherefore those lines are. That's what I would think.
So send us your ideas about possible things. Send us some ideas of things you want to learn, and let's
see if we can come up with a class.
Let's see if it's in our curriculum that you would learn that in our lead class or our cutting and soldering class.
Right. And if we had to come up with it, like we had a lot of people just wanted to learn how to cut glass and solder, so we came up with that class in the curriculum, and I think it worked out really well. We had a full class that weekend. And I had nothing but rave reviews, so thank you guys for that. We appreciate it, and it was a good time.
Dakota wants to know, I'm interested in what material is best for sink in the studio. Stainless steel, ? Since fusing will also be done, should I use a Glico sink trap to be installed underneath?
I think I would, and I don't know.
I don't know that I'd be rinsing everything.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd be rinsing it.
Stink.
Yeah, because it goes down into it's still going to go all into the water system. I would say you need some sort of something that comes out of your sink, goes into some charcoal somewhere, and filters it out before you either put it in the ground or back into what we drink. So you have to be real careful about that.
Depends on how much you do. I mean, if you're fusing every day, you'll have to come up with something.
Yeah, I think I would. I think rather than a metal sink, I would go with a plastic sink though, because there's some certain chemicals that will just ruin that sink if you're not careful. The plastic, not a whole lot will hurt a mop sink, a plastic mop sink. And I would, I think you might want to put that extra drain underneath of there if you feel like it needs it. But just be careful, be careful. And there are, a lot of those chemicals, there are other ways of getting rid of them that are safe. So, and you keep yourself safe too. So.
Okay. If you haven't given us a thumbs up on the video, please give us a thumbs up. We appreciate it, and it tells everyone else that this is something worthwhile to watch. Come back and watch us every Monday night at 7 o'clock.
You know what?
What?
She had a salmon stick.
Yeah, and you can smell it. You can
Girl,
smell it.
sit down. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. She just hit me hard there.
Okay, another question.
Yes.
Could you recommend a specific source for wire? I'm using miles of 22 gauge wiring sun catchers. We buy it on,
Well, there is a pre-tinned wire on our
it's
Amazon
in a
page.
spool.
But we buy it on the spool. We buy a pound of it on a spool, and a 20 gauge, there's almost 3,000 feet, a half a mile on it. So a
Are
little.
you buying it on the spool?
Are you buying it by
Beth?
the spool or? And 22 gauge, I don't know. I thought 20 was as thin as they made it. So, but yeah. So I try and buy it by the pound. That's what I would do on the 1 pound spools because there's a lot of it there, and 22 gauge is smaller than 20, and I thought 20 was really small. So, yeah, and kudos to you for wiring your sun catchers. Can I have a drink of that?
There's not much left.
That's all
I've
right.
been drinking it. I get so thirsty.
Thank you. So yeah, kudos for wiring your sun catchers. That should be done all the time. That way they don't come apart.
Yep.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
let's do some more glass cutting.
Let's do something. What? Okay, so here we go. Let's share this piece right here. Oh my. Look at that, y'all. Isn't that pretty? So this is a piece of Barbara like this today. I was using this. This is the water on the window that I'm working on. So this is the back side. Okay, this is the back side. And this is the front side. Now, this is a Armstrong, and we can see that it's iridized, okay? This is a Armstrong A4410 SR. And I had one sheet of this. And when I looked at the label Friday, when I started cutting it for the water on this particular window, the label said 6/13. You ready for this? 88. This sheet of glass was made in 1988. And, well, you know, it doesn't matter. And those of you, and I have had the question, does glass get old? It got old, all right. Look at it. It got old. But you know what happens to it? Nothing. Nothing. Here we go. So I'm going to flip over here to the hot end. Did you hear how soft that was? Oh my gosh, that just drives me crazy to hear that sound. I love it. Now, there we go again. We popped it. We started the run, and I have a lot of y'all send a little note to Barb and I during the week that say, I don't know how you can stop your running pliers from running that glass. How do you make that little pop, eh? Well, you know what you have to do is you just have to be really careful. And like what I do is I hold my breath. So we got our run to right there. There's our, and I'm going to, remember, I'm pulling down with my thumb and my index finger. Here we go. There we go. Didn't that sound good? Oh, that just sounded good. So remember, guys, even we're cutting on the iridized side, okay? We're cutting on the iridized side. And this is my personal glass cutter. We all know what that is. So this is my personal glass cutter, and we're just going to cut. Just going to cut away. And I didn't want it to go too crazy and y'all to think that it's so easy to cut because I was just going with the grain. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and take this pretty little curve out of here. Let's be careful. Let's start our run. Okay, everybody hold your breath. Oh, there we go. Take a breath. Go ahead. You're good. That's good. Here we go. We're going to go again. I'm going to hold my breath. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Hopefully my breath will get going here. We're going to pull down again and just run that run just a little bit. And a little bit more. Now it may break right here.
don't you cut that? Okay. So you can get your pliers in there. Cut that off. Oh, you get it? Wow. Nice.
So I guess what I was trying to show you is it doesn't matter what grain, how the grain is running in the glass and the designation of the flow of the color, you can always go against it. And and this will help you. Confidence, y'all. Build your confidence for cutting glass. Cutting glass is difficult, but it's not impossible. And when your cutting skills improve, so does your work. And when your work improves, so do your sales. So keep that in mind and make sure that, and I just keep pressuring it and putting it in your head and trying to remind you of it. But the more proficient you become at cutting glass and working on the designs and windows that you're working on, and the more proficient you come at mitering your lead, then you become more proficient at working a little bit faster. But speed isn't, and I always say this, it's not a race. What it is a piece of art that you're designing for either yourself or a customer.
Thank you, Carol.
Carol, thank you.
Carol asked if Armstrong Glass was still in production, and Ray answered, and he gave a really good answer. Armstrong is still in production, and it's undergoing changes. The company has been making stained glass and art glass since 1977, and starting in 2025, they are discontinuing their old styles to introduce new artistic glass designs. So that sounds interesting.
Y'all, Armstrong had some of the most beautiful glass back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
So if you can imagine what they're coming up with, I'm excited about that. Ray, thank you. That excites me to know that Armstrong's coming back into the process. So now, guys, that's just one more choice in this great, big, beautiful country that we live in, that we have, that we can get our glass
Thank you, Carol.
from.
We appreciate you.
Carol, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you.
We sure do. Thank you so much. Okay. I'm seeing if there's any more questions.
Cindy, is that a question? Did you get her question? Up, right there. Did you get that one?
No.
Okay, I just saw it.
Soldering. Cindy said she needs soldering the most. I get so nervous when first soldering a project. It's hard to get a lot of practice soldering. What to do when soldering points that come together? I cut my foil back.
Well, that's exactly right. You should cut your foil back because you got all this stuff coming together, and you want to keep that nice fine line. Now, Cindy, we do have several videos about soldering techniques, and so maybe you could check those out. But I'm not sure where you live at, but we are gonna be doing a soldering and cutting weekend sometime in the future. And normally most of our stained glass classes or our flat glass classes we hold over the spring and summer months because we're not bombarded with the glass blowing scene. And now we ourselves, Barbara and I and Taylor, we're making stained glass windows all the time, and doing many other things. But we do try to find time to pull some classes together for you guys, and to help you and to enhance your artistic capabilities.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you for sharing that. He said he got it at Copilot, Chat GPT.
Thank you, Ray.
Oh, Michael, thank you
Michael,
so much.
hey, Michael. How you doing
tonight? It's been a while since
Yeah.
we've seen you. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. We
do
appreciate that very
it.
much.
Okay, there was something that came up. Cindy said something I wanted to share. She's making 3D hummingbirds the tail feathers come together in a fine point, leaving a clump of solder.
At the very end of it,
Yeah,
probably.
where they all meet.
Yeah. So what I would do if it's a small sun catcher, I
It's
think
a
I would,
3D
Yeah.
hummingbirds.
yeah. So I think I would. I might want to look at even trying to change the design of the tail just a little bit, even though it's a 3D. And maybe you can do the same thing with wire too. So keep that in mind. You could do the same thing with some 16 gauge wire.
Okay.
16 gauge pretend wire. I'm sorry.
Yeah, to separate the tails, and you
Yeah.
might get the effect you need.
And you get yeah.
Were you going to cut some more glass?
Did I need to? We can.
No.
I got a real pretty.
Well, you have a few more minutes if
Yeah.
there was something you wanted to share.
Well,
Kathleen wanted to know what the number on that iridized, I think. The iridized
4410
4410.
RS. Yeah, I'm gonna show.
And who's the
Oh,
maker?
it's the Armstrong.
Oh, that's
The
Armstrong?
glass I just cut was Armstrong. Yeah,
Okay.
4410. Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
And that's Armstrong 1984.
Yes, so we don't know what they're doing
I don't
now, but
think
you can
they-
still find it probably somewhere.
Yeah, and it's a iridized, and a good friend of mine had it, and I had to have it.
Okay.
So I brought a piece of some of y'all are asking about 3mm and 2mm. So I brought a piece of each one to share with you, and they're both bullseye. So one is a 3mm, which is 1/8 of an inch, and the other is a 2mm. Here we go. Let's share with them.
Okay. Close up.
There we go. 3mm, 2mm. Bullseye classifies their 2mm as thins, okay? And I do mean thin. This is a iridized. This is beautiful. I have a whole sheet. I have a couple sheets of this actually. But listen to this. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at it's like a gold sitting on top of that. Isn't that beautiful? So when you have these thins like this, okay? Oops. When you have these thins like this, you can almost, and I'm going to try it just for the giggles of it. You can, with this thin, you should be able to cut that. Here we go. Ha ha ha! I did it. Look at that. Look how thin that is, y'all. There you go. So rule of thumb is you should be able to cut a strip of glass as narrow as the glass is thick. And I just did that. Perfect. That was nice. So if you do have any use for the thins, and I tell you what, they work good too, is for plating. Okay, so we have this beautiful piece of yellow, but I'd really like to have that shade of orange right there. So if I plated this, if I took this and plated it, I would get that exact shade that I want. So there's a lot of things that can be said for using thins in your design. So anyway, check it out. Bullseye makes them. They're 2mm, and they're really exceptional colors. So you can use them for a lot of different projects. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with everybody. So, and I think that's pretty good. I'll move this over here like that.
Okay. Cindy wants to know how you would use the wire on hummingbirds.
Well, for the tail, you would basically, I mean, if you do have a overlay, I'm not sure what.
She was the 3D hummingbird.
Yeah, the hummingbird. So you're going to use it as an overlay for the tail. You would use I don't know what the pattern of your hummingbird looks like, but there is definitely a way that you can eliminate probably a piece or two of glass or a point or two by using wire for sure. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Just have to look at it, and I'm sure that it's a beautiful hummingbird. But if you could, if you're having trouble with all that solder piling up, you know what you can do is switch to a 3/16 foil. Switch to it, and even though you're cutting your foil back, switch to a 3/16 or even a 5/32 foil, and that's going to give you minimum coverage on your glass, which is going to give you a small soldering bead, probably even without cutting it back with an X-Acto knife. So try that, give that a try. Maybe just switch to a smaller foil.
Okay, Carol says she don't care what anyone says about your techniques. No one can cut glass like you, Ed.
Carol, I need to pay you. Thank you, Carol.
The Armstrong Glass website, Gardner AF says the Armstrong Glass website has a nice gallery of their new glasses that have come out so far, including experimental sheets.
I want some of those.
Okay, MV Volker wants to know, when plating, do you foil the two pieces together or solder the piece, then solder the plated piece to the back?
Yeah, you solder the piece and then you solder the plating that is the very last thing you do, Mary Beth.
Add the plating?
Add the
So
plating.
you don't foil them together? Okay.
No, you
No,
foil
that's right.
foil the plate and then solder the plate to the other piece of glass, and just build your way out like that.
Okay. You are a super power cutter, Ed.
Well, you guys are just very kind, and thank you so much.
He enjoys cutting glass, and he's been cutting glass. How many years you been cutting glass, Ed?
44 years.
He worked as a master glazer in the commercial glazing business, and then started his own stained glass company in 1986.
That's right. We
and
did.
we've been going
Strong
ever since.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please explain the mechanics of
Plating.
plating. So,
I thought you just.
we did kind of, but Carol, what plating is, and check it out. I think because Tiffany is like the master of plating, and I've got to see it firsthand one time, and so did Barbara. It's not very often that it's not very often when you're in a museum that you get to go behind the wall. So Barbara and I were at the Chrysler Museum. I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago maybe. It was pre-COVID. And so we were in the Chrysler Museum, and some of our glass blowing friends have work in there. And we've come around the corner, and they had this,
Thank
Karen.
you, Carol. Karen. Thank you, Karen.
So we come around the corner, and there's this 3-section Tiffany window there. And Barbara and I were just sitting there, and I was looking at it, and we were talking about the glass, and how pretty this is, and look at the solder work on it and everything. And this lady walks up behind us and said, "It's magnificent, isn't it?" And I said, "Are you kidding me? This is beautiful." She said, "Would you like to see the back of it?" And I just looked at Barbara, and I about like melted. And I said, "Oh, yes, I would." So she took us through this door. I don't know if she's supposed to do it or not. Anyway, she took Barbara and I back there. And we got to see the plating on the window. So the mechanics of the plating, Carol, the windows are completed. And then the plating is designed. So sometimes Tiffany would actually do a painting on a small piece of glass. And then he would put it behind a clear piece. And then behind that clear piece was the painting. And then behind the painting was a blue piece of glass with a white at the top, and he would create these different levels so that when the light came through that plating, it was almost as if that was a little painted farmhouse, and behind it was the landscape. And it was just when you look at it, if you look at his windows, sometimes it's hard to see, but a lot of times it's fairly large. that it's done and the plating is done fairly large and you can see it.
Hi, Magali.
Hey, Magali, I just cut up a piece of iridized glass for you.
No, she missed it. She's going to watch it on the rerun. Let's see. When plating, do you tin the back of the foil before soldering?
Definitely yes, for sure. And it has to be very clean.
Ray said he designed a beautiful pattern of a stained glass window in Copilot. Yeah,
I haven't seen that program yet, Ray.
Copilot, yeah, and he put the link here. Well, check it out, Ray. I'll tell you, those of you that aren't familiar with AI, you can get some really good inspiration from the AI programs.
Yeah,
you
just don't copy it verbatim. Just get some ideas.
If you are really stuck on something and you need some ideas, go to the AI. I think, I'm trying to think of Stable Diffusion, Mind Journey, or a few of them, Copilot. There's so many of them out there. There's tons of them. Just go play around. Most of them are free, and they're a lot of fun to play with.
Yep. And I tell you, if you hadn't even thought about it, there's another great idea for stained glass windows, creative ideas, is in what are those books that are? I had it right on the tip of my tongue, and now I can't think of it. I'm sorry, guys. It must be 8 o'clock.
It is.
That's my bedtime.
You're tired already?
No, I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
baby.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
So those quilting books.
Quilting books.
Quilting books
coloring
have
books.
children's coloring books for sun catchers, y'all. Christmas sun catchers, children's coloring books. Animal sun catchers, children's coloring books.
Okay. Did I miss any questions? Because I feel like I've missed someone's
Let's see, when
question.
planning
Okay. I think I have everyone.
Let's check it out. Make sure.
I'm pretty sure we have everyone. Okay. Any questions, just put them in the chat real quick and we'll answer them.
Yeah, we
or
got time.
Yeah, we
We
got
got-
a few more minutes. Paint by number books are good too. Yeah, Beth. And congratulations on that fish you caught. Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, that's right. Kelly's coming down to the beach? Mm-hmm. She in the class in September?
Yes, she's coming in September for a class.
Oh, okay. And Paul's in that class too.
Yeah.
Paul Mandelowitz. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. So Paul's not here tonight, but we'll see him next week.
He's out and about.
And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you all for such great questions. You kept the ball moving
And
tonight.
you did,
hardly
and
could
thank you
keep
guys
up with
very
you.
much for your kindness tonight too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and all the donations. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. We're moving forward on our project. I can't wait. I thought this space was going to be really a lot of space.
It
but
was.
It's turned out to be kind of small.
Then I started getting bigger. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So we're really looking forward to having all that space and be able to move around and show you guys more.
Yeah, because I want to be able to do demos for you for all the things that you're asking me about. All of those things just can't be done on my hardwood floors in my
Don't
living room.
forget, next month, the first of the month, we do a box giveaway. We will do that. Also, the viewer showcase is coming up. So if you want to be in the box giveaway, just send a yes to viewershowcase@gmail.com. And if you want to be in the viewer showcase, send a photo with a brief description.
And your name.
And your name.
Please.
And we'll put you in the viewer showcase for July.
And that's on the first Monday of each month when we do the giveaway, and also we do the box giveaway.
Yes.
That's
So you
awesome.
guys have a great week. And
Beth, keep sending in those fishing pictures, hon. We
Ed
appreciate
will be
that.
checking that.
Fishing forecast in Michigan.
And so, yeah, we do check the Facebook page when we can, but we're getting so busy right now. We'll try to keep up with you guys. We know you spend a lot of time
Yep.
sharing things on there as
And
well.
we'll get you an update next Monday night.
Yeah. And we'll talk to you guys soon. And let's see if I
So
can,
for the ARTyRV channel, guys, I'm Ed.
and I'm Barb.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Thank you for
everybody.
your kindness.
Thank you.